Hey guys, hope you're doing well today. So in this video we'll be talking about finding the balance between being productive and taking time off. Because I think that it's a big problem in today's society that a lot of people want to be more productive, more productivity, less time spent doing things, but by trying to become more productive you just take on more tasks and the space fills up, the work takes as much time as you give it the time it needs. There is this saying, or I don't know, this law that your assignment takes up the time you give it. Okay, so if you give an assignment 3 months, you will probably crunch in everything in the last week and it's going to take 3 months to finish that assignment. Now if you set a shorter deadline, then you will be able to finish this task in a shorter amount of time. But when that happens, you will add on another project, another, and so you will still be working hard for 3 months. You will get more done, yes, but you will be working as much or even more, or sometimes even more, right? So trying to optimize everything and becoming more productive and doing all these things to save you more time can actually backfire on you and make you do more than you actually perhaps should be doing even, all right? Because there is this interesting book and it's called The Biggest Regrets of the Dying. And almost every person in that book that got interviewed is basically old people who are dying or who are about to die, who talk about their biggest regrets, right? And a lot of people mention that they regret putting in so much time into working and less time into spending with the people they love. They all mention this. Everybody's biggest regret when they're about to die is that they wish they would have spent more time with their loved ones, and they wish they wouldn't have paid so much attention to what other people thought of them, other people's opinions, okay? They actually felt regret that they were not brave enough to express themselves authentically, their real core selves, because they were afraid of judgment from others. But that's something that they regret, okay? But so trying to be more productive and working hard all the time might become a huge regret when you're older, okay? Because at the end of the day, what really matters, and I'm speaking from personal experience now, is all the memories I have with the people that I love, the great things we did together, the times spent just being together somewhere in nature, watching a movie, playing video games, playing board games, doing silly things together, going on an adventure. It's these things that I remember as very meaningful and profound. And the times that I was working and slaving away, I felt mostly just really miserable, okay? And yes, you need to find a balance between working hard and then playing hard too, work hard, play hard. I agree with this mindset, but the work hard part tends to usually overrule a lot of the playing hard, or you carry it with you while you're playing, okay? You feel guilty because you're not being productive. You feel guilty because you're not working and you're taking time off. And then you're actually not enjoying the time that you're taking off because you feel like you should be working, or you feel like you should be more productive and you're wasting time. I can speak from personal experience here. Like, I was like that. I was that person who was taking time off, forcing myself to, to enjoy it so I could go back to work and earn money, right? But it's so, when I look back on this time now, I'm like, why was I even doing this? Like, does it actually really matter even? Of course it doesn't, right? And you want to be careful with not allowing yourself to get into a lazy slump, okay? Laziness is not good. Laziness and, sloth and procrastinating and allowing yourself to just victimize yourself and be negative around your work, that is not something that I endorse. I endorse working good, hard, smart, but then also notice when you're losing yourself in that. Because the money, you can always make it, okay? In 10 years from now, you can still make money. But the years with your loved ones, the years with your friends, the moments that you could have shared together, those you will never get back. okay? If you have children, for example, you will regret not being there as they grow up. Okay, that is one of the biggest regrets that I always hear, for especially fathers talk about, that they were always gone, working hard, and they never saw their son grow up because they were so busy making money, because they wanted to take care of their sons or of their daughters or their children. They wanted to provide for their children, but because they were doing that, they didn't have the time to spend with them. So what is then the reason you're working so hard? Okay, because you love your children, right? But you don't have the time to spend that love with them, to share that love with them in person. Yes, you're sharing it with them through material means. You're providing money and safety and all these things, which is important. Okay, it's important to do that, but don't lose track of the amount of time you spend trying to be more productive, trying to work harder and smarter, and instead allow yourself to take some time off. You're not a bad person for doing that, okay? You are really not a bad person for finding the right balance between working hard and taking time off. And I was a huge perfectionist when I was younger, okay? In school, I didn't take time off whatsoever because I wanted the best grades, so I knew I had to work hard for that. But for what? Okay, I had 95% on my exams, on my tests back in high school. Who cares? Who cares? Okay, I am proud of the work that I put in and the results that I got, but at the end of the day, is it really that important? Is it really that important to try to get to the top 95%, but put in so much more time and effort to get there, rather than to just settle or be okay with 80%, 85%? Okay, you can spend almost 80% less time hovering around the 80% mark than to try to achieve the 95%. Then you will have to put in so much time, so much more time and effort, and that is going to be something you might potentially regret as you grow older, because you've put in so much time and effort into working, being productive, and you forgot all about your relationships with your family, with your children, with your friends, time taken for yourself to explore, to read, to to relax. And it's a common problem, and I see it over and over and over again. But so many people, also clients that I coach, people that I talk to, they overwork themselves. And so you want to discover or uncover what is driving you. Why do you feel like you need to be productive all the time? In my case, it was because I felt not worthy when I wasn't working hard. I felt like I didn't deserve to rest. I had to constantly be pushing myself in order for me to deserve to rest. And while there is something to say about that, okay, if you take a rest 24/7 for a whole year, even that is not as much. Like a whole year in your lifetime, it's not even that much, right? But you know when you're lazy or when you're pushing yourself too much. Okay, so learn to listen to that. Learn to tap into when are you overdoing it and when are you being lazy. And a great way for you to explore this for yourself is to have a little thought experiment and to think to yourself, okay, if I would take a whole day off or a whole week off even, would it make me feel anxious? Would I feel anxious and scared and confused and frustrated? Then you probably have some kind of obsessive compulsive loop regarding your productivity, your work, and it might be beneficial for you to look into why that is the case. Okay, because taking a week off, it's a week, 7 days. Right? You will not die, nothing will happen. If you have a business, most likely it would just run its course, and it might even be beneficial because you learn that your co-workers can actually figure things out for themselves and you don't constantly need to be on top of the ball. Just giving you an example, all right? So if you feel anxious and scared to let go of your working environment for a few days a week, then you might want to contemplate why that is the case. Because spending a week with your loved ones, going on a trip or organizing some events, that is a memory you will carry with yourself for the rest of your life. okay? Or even with yourself, taking yourself on a trip, you will remember this. Now, if you would just have filled that other week again with work, you will not remember it because it will be the same as the week before, right? So find this balance between being productive and taking time off. And taking time off doesn't mean you're being lazy, because it can actually pay huge dividends, because you can find yourself being more creative, recharged with energy, new motivation, new insights. You know, it's good to recharge your batteries. It's actually more productive to do that than to just grind and push through. And I know there is this hustle culture society out there, especially like Gary Vee, you need to work hard. But I think that these people will eventually run themselves into a ditch, and then they will have to take a break, they will be forced to take a break, and that is going to open up a whole can of other worms and demons that come out. And maybe that is the way you need to go through this lesson to find the balance eventually. But I think this book is so eye-opening, it's so inspiring to hear these people talk about their biggest regrets, because you can avoid having these regrets if you learn to take some time off to balance your life work, to balance your work with your life, to spend more time with your family, and try to make it into, you know, an honest, genuine, enjoyable, fun thing. And you don't need to force yourself into enjoying it, but just take the time when you feel like you want to take the time, okay? If you feel like today it's a beautiful day and the family feels in a good mood, let's go for a picnic, let's go camping, let's go do something, or hit up your friends or whatever. If the time is right, allow yourself to take that time off and to explore and experience a different part of life, because life is not just about work, or life is not just about relationships, or life is not just about being by yourself doing introspection, okay? Life is about all these things combined. So find a balance between all these different aspects, and then I think you maximize your chances of not living with these regrets of the dying. Alright guys, I hope that was helpful. If you have any thoughts or comments, feel free to share them down below. I reply to all of them. I love to read your comments, so make sure you leave one if you have anything to say about this. If you like the video, please click that like button for me. This helps to expose the video to more people who might want to learn more about this topic. And if you would like to see more content like this in the future, please click that subscribe button for me. And as always, thank you so much for watching guys, and I'll see you in the next video.